What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going over the hottest new games coming in September 2025. And the lineup is stacked. We got long-awaited sequels, brand new IPs, horror, strategy and even some pure arcade speed. So whether you're into chilling psychological scares, fast-paced action or deep tactical battle, there's something here for you. Let's dive in. We're kicking things off with some chaotic looter-shooter energy. Borderlands 4 finally arrives on September 12th. If you've been missing the ridiculous gunplay and off-the-wall humor that made this franchise a staple, Gearbox is promising to deliver in spades. This time, the story takes us to a new planet called Kairos, with an ecosystem that feels alive in ways we haven't seen before. Dynamic weather, destructible terrain, and enemies that adapt mid-fight. Of course, Borderlands wouldn't be Borderlands without the guns, and we're talking tens of thousands procedurally generated options, with more wild modifiers and elemental effects than ever before. New Vault Hunters bring fresh kill trees, so expect to experiment with some wild builds that let you melt enemies in your own style. Personally, I'm excited to see if they balance the humor with stronger storytelling this time, because Borderlands has always walked the line between parody and real emotional moments. If you're ready for more co-op chaos, tons of loot and that classical cel-shaded mayhem, September 12 should be marked in your calendar. Let's be honest, this might be the single most anticipated indie sequel of all time. Hollow Knight Silksong is finally here on September 4, and the hype has been building for years. Instead of Knight, we're stepping into the role of Hornet, who's faster, more agile, and has her own distinct arsenal. Team Sherry has crafted a whole new kingdom filled with over 200 unique enemies and more than 40 bosses, each with brutal attack patterns that will test even better on players. The environment looks absolutely stunning, from haunted fungal caverns to sun-drenched citadels. On top of that, we've got a brand new quest systems, NPC companions to meet along the way, and expanded crafting. For me, it's the mix of atmosphere and music that makes Hollow Knight so special. Christopher Larkin's score is already shaping up to be hauntingly beautiful, and I know I'll be pausing just to soak it in. This isn't just another Metroidvania, it's the evolution of one of the genre's most modern classics, and I cannot wait to finally dive into it. Now for something dark, weird and very much up my alley, Cronos the New Dawn, dropping September 5. This one comes from Bluebird team, the minds behind The Medium and Layers of Fear, and it's shaping up to be a unique blend of psychological horror and survival action. You play as the Traveler, dropped into a futuristic dystopia where the reality itself feels unstable. The story puts you through twisted psychological experiments while you're haunted by grotesque creatures called orphans. Resources are scarce, you'll need to scavenge constantly, manage your ammo, and think carefully before every encounter. What I love here is the dual nature of gameplay. Yes, there are flamethrowers and brutal weapons, but there's also philosophical choices to make, mysterious to uncover, and even some moments of unexpected calm. Like petting a stray cat in the middle of all that horror, it's unsettling, thoughtful, and brutal all at once. If you're into horror that makes you think as much as you sweat, this is one to keep an eye on. The years of remakes and spin-offs, Silent Hill F is the first truly new step for the series in a long time. Set in 1960s Japan, this entry shifts away from the foggy American towns and gives us a whole new cultural lens for Silent Hill's signature psychological horror. The story is being penned by Rokushi07, the writer behind Higurashi When They Cry, which means you can expect layered storytelling, shocking twists, and moments that stick with you long after you put the controller down. Gameplay mixes classic exploration and puzzle solving with more action than we've seen before. There's a sanity mechanic that affects what you see and how enemies behave, making every choice matter. What has me most intrigued is the blend of beauty and grotesque lush Japanese countryside, slowly twisting into surreal, nightmarish landscapes. If you love the psychological dread of early Silent Hill games, you want something that pushes the formula forward. Silent Hill F might be just the game that revives the franchise in a big wave. Next up is a game that's flown a little under the radar but deserves attention, Hell Is Us. Out September 4, it's an action-adventure where you play as Remy, a soldier in the land torn apart by both civil war and supernatural forces. The big hook here is the melee combat. It's all about deliberate sword, axe and spear play against terrifying creatures called the Hollow. There is no minimap, no constant handholding, instead you explore a semi-open world with only your instincts, your weapons and a drone companion to guide you. That's something I personally find refreshing in a sea of overly cluttered open world designs. The combat looks weighty, challenging and satisfying, judging at the right time, committing to strikes, and conserving stamina while keeping your drone alive support. If you're craving something that mixes grounded melee mechanics with supernatural flavor, Hell Is Us feels like a bold new direction. Okay, let's shift gears. I mean that literally. Sonic Racing, CrossWorlds hits September 25. And this time, Sega's really leaning into making it the Mario Kart competitor it always meant to be. First off, the roster is wild. Not only do you have the classic Sonic crew, but guest characters like Joker from Persona 5, Ichiban from Yakuza Like a Dragon, Hatsune Miku, and even Steve from Minecraft. It's the kind of crossover madness that makes every race unpredictable. The big innovation is cross-platform matchmaking, meaning whether on your PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, or PC, you can all race together. Tracks take inspiration from across Sega's history. And there's a stronger focus on team racing mechanics, drafting, combo boost, and cooperative item sharing. Honestly, it feels like Sega is finally embracing the fun chaos of kart racing while covering its own identity. If you grew up on Mario Kart but want something fresh with that signature Sonic speed, CrossWorlds could be your next multiplayer obsession. For strategy fans, this is huge. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles lands on September 30, and it's more than just a remaster. It's a full reimagining of the classic tactics RPG that defined a generation. Square Enix has rebuilt the visuals with stunning HD 2D art similar to Octopath Traveler, giving those grid-based battlefields a gorgeous new life. The story of Ramsa and the War of the Lions is intact, but there's expanded political intrigue, new job classes, and modern quality of life upgrades like quick saves and smoother battle flow. What makes this special is how timeless the gameplay already was. The job system remains one of the most satisfying in RPG history, experimenting with combinations, grinding out abilities, and watching your army grow into an unstoppable force. And in the expanded lore of Ivalice, and you got something that's both nostalgic and new. I've been waiting for years to dive back in, and this looks like the perfect excuse. If you like your strategy RPGs with a little bit of weirdness, Demonschool is releasing September 3rd. It's a mashup of Persona-styled school life and tactical grid combat, all wrapped up in a retro horror aesthetic. You play as Faye, a student at a strange university where reality and the demon world overlap. By day, you're attending classes, building friendships, and making choices that affect your story. By night, you're squaring off against grotesque demons in turn-based battles that emphasize positioning and combos over grinding stats. What I like about it is its tone. It's spooky, but not grim and dark. It's playful, satirical, and stylish, with pixel art flair and some tongue-in-cheek humor. If you ever wish Persona leaned more into tactics combat, or that Fire Emblem had more of a charm school vibe, Demonschool might be the surprise hit of the month. Now, mech fans, this one is for you. Daemon x Machina is coming September 5th, and it's shaping up to be the bigger and better than the cult hit that came before it. You pilot an arsenal, giant customizable mechs with a huge range of weapons. Battles are fast, flashy, and completely over the top with aerial dogfights, city-wide skirmishes, and massive enemy mechs that feel like boss raids. The twist this time is an expanded open world between battles. You can take on odd jobs, explore, and tweak your loadouts to perfection. What is great is the freedom. You can swap weapons mid-battle, scavenge enemy gear, and experiment with builds until you find a perfect playstyle. The new demo already shows smoother controls and more fluid animations, and it looks incredible running on modern consoles. If you like the idea of armored core, but with an enemy flair and pure speed, this one is going to eat up your hours. And last, but definitely not least, Metal Eden arrives September 2nd. A cyberpunk FPS that looks like it was designed to pump adrenaline straight into your veins. You play as Asuka, a hyper-unit soldier dropped into a city called Mobius, to recover lost human cores while fighting through waves of mechanized enemies. The gameplay is pure speed. Think Doom Eternal meets Ghost Runner. Wall running, parkour, sliding across neon rooftops while unloading futuristic weapons. Combat encourages chaining kills and constant movement. Stand still and you're dead. Beyond the action, the setting has me hooked. The neon-drenched city is full of mystery. The story trailer teases philosophical questions about humanity and survival under machine rule. It's brutal, and it's a kind of shooter that demands focus. If you've been craving for a single-player FPS that really pushes your reflexes, this might be the September hidden gem. And that's the full lineup of new releases for September 2025. From long-awaited legends like Silksong and Final Fantasy Tactics to fresh surprises like Hell Is Us and Metal Eden, this month is honestly stacked. Personally, I don't even know where to start. I'm torn between losing myself in Silksong and getting wrecked in Silent Hill F. Now what about you? Which of these games are you most excited for? And which ones are your day one purchases? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this roundup, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss October's lineup. Until next time, happy gaming!